Hi, welcome to our channel of IGNU Audiobooks, Indira Gandhi National Open University, School of Foreign Languages, SOFL, Bachelor's Degree Programmes. Bachelor of Arts, BAC. Skill Enhancement Courses. BSLS 183 Elementary Spanish. Log-1 Vamos a conocernos. Unidad 1 Bienvenidos. Introducción. The first thing you have to learn in a new language is how to greet someone. To say hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, etc. How to introduce yourself, your name and surname, and how to ask for someone's name when you meet for the first time. You also need to be able to spell your name and be familiar with the pronunciation and spelling. Learning a new language can seem daunting, but studying and understanding the sounds and syllables can be a first step in this journey. Objetivos. In this unidad, you will learn to say basic greetings, both formal and informal. Introduce yourself to others. Introduce someone to a third person. Spell Spanish words. 1.1 Saludos, GRETINGS. Español, como otras lenguas, tiene saludos formales e informales. Spanish, like many other languages, has formal and informal greetings. Los saludos más comunes son hola, informal, buenos días, buenas tardes y buenas noches, formales. The most common greeting is the informal hola, hello, but in formal situations, in public places, when you talk to older people or in any other situation when you want to show respect, etc. You may use buenos días, good morning, buenas tardes, good afternoon, good evening, and buenas noches, good evening, good night. Saludo informal. Hola. Buenas tardes. Buenas noches. Saludos formales, buenos días. Culture tip. In Spanish, people do not use greetings exactly like in English, because in every culture people have different timings to do things. Waking up, eating lunch or dinner, going to sleep, etc. And even different use of what a formal or an informal situation is. Culture tip. In Spanish, buenas tardes refers to both good afternoon and good evening. We use it after lunch, even if we eat at 2 de la tarde. Similarly, we use buenas noches, once it is dark outside. Grammar tip. In Spanish, we use inverted exclamation at the beginning of the expression and normal one at the end. Signo de apertura de exclamación, signo de cierre de exclamación. Después de saludos, ¿qué preguntamos? After salutations, what do you ask? Sometimes, we add a question to our greeting, ¿qué tal? How is it going? ¿Cómo estás? How are you? Informal, or ¿cómo está? How are you? Formal. Sometimes it is only rhetorical. For example, when we cross an acquaintance on the street, we do not need to answer. ¿Y cómo respondemos? And how do we respond? We may answer bien, well, or muy bien, very well, and ask them back to. And you, informal, or usted. And you, formal. You can add gracias, thank you, or muchas gracias, thank you very much, to your response. Ejemplos. Una conversación informal. Alex. Hola, ¿qué tal? Rosa. Muy bien, ¿y tú? Alex. Bien, gracias. Una conversación formal. Señora Rodríguez. Buenos días, ¿cómo está? Señor Ramón. Bien, ¿y usted? Señora Rodríguez. Muy bien, gracias. ¿Y cómo respondemos? And how do we respond? We may answer bien, well, or muy bien, very well, and ask them back to. And you, informal, or usted. And you, formal. You can add gracias, thank you, or muchas gracias, thank you very much, to your response. Ejemplos. Una conversación informal. Alex. Hola, ¿qué tal? Rosa. Muy bien, ¿y tú? Alex. Bien, gracias. Una conversación formal. Señora Rodríguez. Buenos días, ¿cómo está? Señor Ramón. Bien, ¿y usted? Señora Rodríguez. Muy bien, gracias. Preguntas informales. ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Pregunta formal. ¿Cómo está? 1.2 Presentaciones INTRODUCING yourself. En algunas situaciones, necesitas preguntar el nombre de la persona. In some situations, you need to ask the name of the other person. And how do you do that? Let's learn that now. Presentaciones informales, informal introductions. 1.2 Presentaciones INTRODUCING yourself. Culture tip. To is the informal. You, in Spanish. In some countries, like Spain, it is used amongst young people. And even middle-aged people, also when we know the person, friends, colleague, etc. You can refer to your grandfather by using to in Spain. Curious, isn't it? Grammar tip, encantado and encantada both mean, pleased to meet you, and are used in formal situations. This word is an adjective and, in Spanish, it changes its ending depending on the gender of the person speaking. So, if a male is speaking, he will say encantado. The o here refers to masculine. If a female is speaking, she will say encantada. The a here refers to feminine. Grammar tip, encantado and encantada both mean, pleased to meet you, and are used in formal situations. This word is an adjective and, in Spanish, it changes its ending depending on the gender of the person speaking. So, if a male is speaking, he will say encantado. The o here refers to masculine. Culture tip, usted is the formal, you, in Spanish. In Spain, it is used only in formal situations with clients, at the office, at the doctor, at the shop, etc. However, in most Spanish-speaking countries in Latin America, usted is preferred over to in almost any kind of situation. So, in American Spanish, usted is the usual form of treatment for anyone and it does not necessarily mean respect. Grammar tip, note that the verb in the se dialogue is conjugated in the formal you, usted, which is written exactly as the tres person form, él, ella or it, she. 1.3 Deletrear tu nombre, spell name. ¿Cómo preguntas a una persona a deletrear su nombre? How do you ask someone to spell out their name? After meeting someone for the first time, it is quite common to ask them to spell out bienvenidos. Their names. Each culture has its own tradition of names and as an outsider it is quite hard to spell out a name particularly if you hear it for the first time. Let's learn the alphabets then. Before that, let's learn a new question. We use the following questions to ask someone to spell out their name. ¿Cómo se escribe tu nombre? Informal. ¿Cómo se escribe su nombre? Formal. Grammar type. We have already seen the word, ¿cómo, in questions. ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo se escribe tu nombre? What does it mean? It means, how. Don't confuse it with, ¿cómo? Tildes, accent marks over vowels have an important role in Spanish which will you learn later. El alfabeto, the alphabet. The Spanish alphabet has 27 letters. All of them exist in the English alphabet, except for one, ñ, which is specific to Spanish only. The letter, ñ, sounds similar to, ni, in the English word, onion. However, even if the written alphabet is almost the same, the sounds in Spanish and English are very different. Spanish is a very easy language to write and read, because most letters in Spanish have only one possible sound. You write exactly what you hear and vice versa. This is very helpful. When you listen to a new word, you will be able to easily write it and look it up in a dictionary, or when you read a new word, you can easily pronounce it, even if you don't know the meaning. Sonidos especiales, special sounds. There are some letters or letter combinations that have special sounds in Spanish. H in Spanish is a silent letter, which means that you write it but you do not pronounce it nor hear it, as you would do in English and other languages. So, the words hola, hello, and hola, say a wave, are pronounced exactly the same. R and R are in Spanish can have a soft sound or a strong sound, depending on the letters around it or the position of the R in the word. R has a strong sound when it is placed at the beginning of the word, for example in the following words: Roma, Rome, rata, rat, rio, river, regalo, gift, present. The sound is strong even if there is only one R. When surrounded by vowels a, e, I, o, u, and written with doubler, for example, in the following words: perro, dog, parra, vineplant, zorro, fox, tarro. Har, in this case, the spelling of the word has an impact on the pronunciation. R has a soft sound when it is surrounded by vowels a, e, I, o, u, and written with only one R. For example, in the following words: arrow, hoop, ring, pero, bot, merienda. Afternoon snack, Maria, a common girl's name, etc. Sometimes the fact of writing or pronouncing arrow, red does change the meaning of the word, so we must pay attention. Here are some examples. Pero, bot, perro, dog. Para, for, to, parra, vine, plant. Elle, el, or double L. When there is a double L, in Spanish, it makes a different sound, similar to y in. The word you, in some countries like Argentina and Uruguay, is pronounced more like ki. Some examples of words with L are the following. Lluvia, rain. Llave, key. Ella, she. Llamada, call. Che, che. When, si and he are placed together, the combination is a different sound, che, which sounds like the chi in the English word chest. Here are some examples. Cheque, bank, cheque. Coche, car. Chico, chica, boy, girl. Chaqueta, jacket. G. The letter G has two different sounds, a strong one and a soft one, depending on which vowel a, e, I, o, u follows it. G has a strong sound combined with e and I, as in the following words. General, general. Gesto, gesture. Gimnasio, gym. Girar, to turn. In many Spanish-speaking countries, however, the G is pronounced like the H in the English word at. G has a soft sound combined with a, o and u as in the following words. Gato, cat. Gallina, hen. Gorro, hat. Gota, drop. Guapo, handsome. However, in some words, we hear pronounce a soft sound when combining G with e and I. In those cases, we write a letter u in between ge, gi. This u is silent. We don't pronounce it, we only write it, and its only purpose is to mark that the G has a soft sound, as in the following words. Guerra, war. Guitarra, guitar. Guisante, green pea. Finally, a few words require that we do pronounce this u, then we have to mark it with a diéresis, two small dots on the u, like this, u, as in the following words. Pingüino, penguin. Cigüeña, stork, a type of bird. Linguística, linguistics, the study of structure of languages. C. Letter C also changes into two different sounds when we combine it with different vowels. C has a sound similar to K when combined with a, o and u as in the following words. Casa, house. Caja, box. Cosa, thing. Curso, course. C has a different sound similar to Spanish C when combined with e and I, as in the following words. Cena, dinner. Cesta, basket. Cine, cinema. Circo, circus. Culture tip, in most Spanish-speaking countries except for Spain. C más E is pronounced like an S, so the word cena may sound like cena. C pronounced like a K, C más A, O, U. 1. Casa. 2. Caja. 3. Cosa. 4. Curso. C pronounced like the Spanish C. 5. Cena. 6. Cesta. 7. Cine. 8. Circo. 1.4 Despedidas, saying goodbye. ¿Cómo terminas una conversación? How do you end a conversation? 1.2 Nombres y apellidos, first names and family names. This is a picture of the Sánchez García family. The parents, José Ramón and Carmen, have two children, a boy called Antonio and a girl called Ana María. In Spanish, people have a first name that can be one name or a compound of two names: Carmen, Antonio, Ana María, José Ramón, and they also have two last names. The first one is taken from their father and the second one is taken from their mother. Women do not change their last names when they get married, they stay with the same last names, from their own father and mother. However, the system of passing on last names to children is quite easy, only the father's last name is passed on. In the previous family, the father is called José Ramón Sánchez Martínez. The last name he will pass on to their children is Sánchez, that is to say, his own father's first family name. The mother's name is Carmen García Segura. The last name she will pass on to her children is García, her father's first family name. So, all their children will have their first name followed by Sánchez García as their family names. 1.4 Resumen. In this unidad you have learned basic greetings, both in formal and informal situations. How to write what you hear, the alphabet, and how to spell Spanish words, how to introduce yourself to others, how to ask for someone's name and last name and some interesting cultural facts. Thank you, subscribe to our channel for more updates, and we will see you with the next chapter.